Salutations! Sergeant for Noah here. Game 8 would have been Morenian Tavern Story, Patty and the Hungry God. Yes, that's the full title. It would have been that game if, like I said in the last episode, I didn't have to constantly go into the PlayStation 4 main menu in and out just to get the game to continue playing. But I can quickly review it all the same. $19.99 US, Ridion Inc. helps this one along as we possibly was going to get my alchemy and business simulator on. Some scaly bank collector kicks us out of our own home, including man girl Patricia Maggione. Yeah, we do last names in this. Now she's been kicked out of her palatial estate, and her family too, which is most likely a result of a beforehand incident where a little brother character of ours knocks over a monument. We get this cute, talkative little bugger who reveals after the fact that he is said god in the title, a god of poverty, and we've now been cursed with his presence. So we gotta feed our little god to appease him and fix our sudden crushing debt issue. You immediately get 2 helpful party members for a full 3, and off you go to fight and collect. Battles in this with this weird over-the-top 3x2 grid on both ends. Like the last game, poison lingered after a battle, and I had to get money cooking up dishes in certain times and seasons of the day. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it to work without mashing the PS Home button, like I said, to unsoft lock the game and let me push buttons just to navigate the game's myriad of menus. It probably would have been like the biggest, heftiest as far as like options and such like that for, well, as far as I knew. I didn't get too far in it because of that reason. It's something I've never encountered before. I see the other 1999 game on here. I'm not getting it. I did pick up another game that also has the name Asdivine in it, but that's like the last game on the list. Quite possibly the last game on my list so far. Speaking of Asdivine, it's Asdivine Hearts 2. This brings us to our actual review. Zack and getting back together again on another whirlwind adventure to save another alternate dimension. So unlike Revenant Dogma, this is a direct sequel. I'll try not to go over too much what happened with the first game. If you are curious, I will provide a link in the description for my review of Asdivine Hearts the first. I suggest doing that because I may go off into previous stuff talked about or showcased, so prepare yourselves. A third dimension, one of ice and snow, is getting too much of said ice and snow, so we gotta rejoin with the light and shadow deities from the first game as one of our previous party members sit it out. In a way. A cocktail of previous game mechanics that really takes what worked with previous titles and gave us the works in this. The return of equipable gems from the prequel, but it's always a 5x5 grid, so you don't need to find items to change that later on and make that bigger this game. And from Antiquia Lost, the skills you can cast over and over to level up, as well as the overworld stuff that only certain party members can do. Like only one party member, like a certain party member can break rocks. So that carries over to is in this game now. I don't know if this game makes healing max out at 99 and makes it free. I rarely needed to heal ever in this game to begin with. And from Fern's Gate, Animal Buddies! It's reworked a bit so your HP is calculated using both your front and back party members, but the MP is different among you, including a doll of the previous party member that doesn't really party up with you, so you get like a replica. So yeah, back to 3 in the front, 3 in the back among your 5 actual party members and 1 animal buddy, and with that, the garden for growing up stat seeds into boons and sending buddies to retrieve more maid coins, and the like also return with that. There's an extra dungeon you don't even really need to spend the alchemy points on whatever to get all the trophies, but it helps. It counts like treasure chests, but there's more than enough treasure chests for the game. It doesn't count like getting all of them, so they fix that as well. While the game does have multiple endings, thankfully you only need to get a normal, true, and happy end rather than the multiple character endings by loading the same save file again and again, so quite a bit of tedium goes away with that. So I've been playing a bunch of these along with me. This should not be too difficult to get. Word of caution for the arena battles for the maid coins. Only one character that acts as the monster tamer gets to participate. Just her and whatever animal buddy you want to partner with her. The whole party does get to go on the more tougher portion, that is the arena battle you'll unlock around New Game Plus. Overall, like I said, a very fancy, delicious cocktail of what was great about previous games lumped with the party I began this review segment with. So, I felt great in all aspects. RPG sequels tend to be more miss than hit, in my opinion. I can safely say this one's a hit. Going through dimensions back and forth later on can get a bit tedious, but only a bit. Despite that very minor gripe, I can safely say this is almost an A. Almost. It's a very high B+. I'm trying to save that A ranking maybe for something that really gets me and is flawless in all things. This one comes close. I highly recommend picking this up. But also the prequel, so you have any idea of what's going on, though. So that's the catch-22. And that game, I think, was I think it had that as just a high C. Yeah, this game, Asdivine Hearts 2, very highly assumes you played the first one. I'm a little down on not being able to go to the full 5 party and let all the members do their thing individually. They still do, but just having to relegate someone I spent a whole game on previous, only to stick them in the proverbial backspace, I didn't have a problem with the replacement character, though, to be honest. It's the Gaia situation on that one from Tales of Xillia. I spent most of the first game fighting the Shadow Deity. Now she's running with us whole game. By the way, there was a threat of being tossed into jail, but it never came to pass. It still happened. But I think technically I can get away with this because we were never imprisoned. So I think I can say the streak has ended. Anyway, we had a return for this episode. Next episode is a return as well. Not in sequel or story, but in graphics. We're going old school 8-bit style once more with Alvastia Chronicles. So until next time, take care and thanks for watching.